So it is now 2020. Studio Series has now taken over producing live-action toys for collectors, and the original Michael Bay movies have already slipped almost completely from memory for a lot. But hey, so what better time to take a good look back at what came between them? This is Hunt for the Decepticons, Battle Blades, Optimus Prime, Voyager class. Now, obviously we can see it looks very nice, and I'll get into comparisons later. Actually, it is basically a scaled-down version of the leader class Optimus Prime from Revenge of the Fallen. Honestly, one of the best leader classes from the movies. Anyway, honestly, this is an interesting middle step between the overly mechanized, over-engineered Revenge of the Fallen toy line and then the somewhat more simplified toy line of Dark of the Moon, where everything slowly became more and more kiddie until we reached last night, where you would be hard-pressed to find a well-articulated, well-detailed toy amongst all the gimmick formers. Hence why Studio Series became a thing. So anyway, like I said, middle step in the almost trilogy of Voyager Optimus Primes that encompass the trilogy of movies. I mean, if we can compare, here we have the original 2007 Voyager Optimus Prime, which looks nice, but not exactly screen accurate. And then also here we have the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. Fortunately, a little mistransformed, and mine is missing some parts, but it does show you kind of the direction that movie was going, because still Prime in that movie looked like this. His toy looked like this to go along with the whole gimmick of that year's line. But still, this is an interesting toy in its own right, but still, for this comparison that almost makes this more shocking is the fact that this, smaller than this, but basically engineered the same as this, a toy almost twice its size. This also gives us a good opportunity to look at what's changed in terms of simplification. I mean, they both look the same, and mine's a little dusty. But, as you can see, the leader class does have the Mech-Alive gimmick from Revenge of the Fallen in the windows. This one clearly does not, just opting for more realistic blue windows. And also, without pointing out too terribly, a bit of a reduction in the flame job, as though to almost take the edge off, rather than all flames everywhere for this guy. And honestly, somewhat for this guy as well, but that's another story. You can see flames are simply limited to front of the hood and to the wheel splashers and the doors. All of them. While being omitted from the side of the hood and also the roof. So yeah, with how impressive this looks, it's almost surreal to hold it in your hand as a Voyager, because I don't know, it's almost like a perfect shrink ray job, in perception at least. And of course, one thing that this does have as an advantage over all the other movie primes almost, except for its predecessor, is that from the back you have a solid plate for the back of the sleeper area of the cab, whereas all other previous ones just kind of look like a mess in the back, not really caring, because honestly, for both of these, this is where the feet come from, one way or another. Also, but just as you can see, it does share that with the leader class, so not in the exact same way, because this is a battery compartment, this is just a backplate. Because, this does that in this mode. So, may as well get into transformation for this. And now, having shown the majority of the transformation steps for this, you can clearly see that this guy was quite finicky, but did produce a very stunning looking mini Leader Optimus Prime almost. I mean, back in the day, this was even called basically the poor man's leader class. You couldn't afford the big toy, you could get this. So, taking a look at details right now, if my camera will focus. Face, is looking pretty good, pretty accurate. It's honestly similar level of detail to most leader class. Has some kind of light piping, but not the best. Light piping has always been hit or miss with Transformers in general. Throughout the chest, a lot of sculpted and molded details that are present on the leader class, but not generally as painted as much. Legs, feet, similar story. No red toes. The back, it's just generally the same, except it's all one piece now. So, suppose we should get into comparisons then. 1 second. And here we have a nice comparison, as well as, come on buddy, stand up. As well as, honestly, a good look at how Transformers have changed between 2007 and 2012. Yeah, unfortunately, I'll turn off the sun. So yeah, we start with the biggest, which is like the most blocky, kind of least accurate, but most toyish, and end with Action Master. And right in the middle we have almost Goldilocks perfection. Also interesting that this is the only Prime that actually uses the windshield from his truck on his chest, unlike these two who use one kind of faux chest and another kind of faux chest hiding the actual windshield. Weird priorities for Dark the Moon anyway. I guess that's... Although, before I put these away, I'll put this guy away. One interesting note is that for both of these guys, while they look nothing alike, the one thing they do oddly share is that their gas tanks and smokestacks kind of become weapons. As you can see, for the battle blades, feel like you're going to break the toy when you pull it off. Take this, whip out the barrel, got a gun. For this one, thankfully it is less heart-wrenching, and here you just have now a gun with shooting missile. So yeah, and before anyone says anything, yes, there was a Revenge of the Fallen Voyager class Optimus Prime, but it was just a repaint of this one, because all the money went into the big guy we're going to see in just a little bit to compare with this guy. So here we have the comparison between our Battle Blades Optimus Prime and the big boy leader class Optimus Prime. Now, yes, mini-me, but also some differences, both in transformation and how it both accomplish generally the same thing, with this guy doing some things better and this guy doing some things better. Things this guy does better. Well, transformation does not rely on twisting parts as much as this guy does, and thin panels that fold over and cover, especially in the back. And also, you can remove the blades, which is why I don't have mine on there, and I can't find them at the window, otherwise I'd be showing them. Whereas this guy, they're permanent, stuck on, and if they're stowed, they get in the way of the arm articulation. Slight knock against an otherwise good toy that this guy doesn't have. Now, unfortunately, almost everything that this guy makes up for in transformation, he loses in finickiness just because he's tiny. The transformations for these two are similar to deja vu levels, and trying to fit a transformation designed for a 12-inch figure into a 7-inch figure, yeah, you're going to run into some problems. I mean, they worked around it, but yeah. However, one thing that this guy has that this guy does not, which is a little weird when you think about the movie, is you have to partially untransform him in order to do it, but he still has it, is a matrix chamber. Unfortunately, I do not have my matrix here, so I have a silver matrix that we can not jam in there because it's too big. Yeah. Actually, where this guy has his matrix, this guy has the battery pack for the gimmick. And also, yes, both of them do like to fall over. So, with this slightly underwhelming look at everything, and also before anyone asks, articulation, neck, shoulders, biceps, everything that you'd want, including oddly this from the transformation, everything you want except wrists and hips. Heck, even the ankles are fully articulated, despite them being universal hinge rather than his ball joints. But yeah. So yeah, that's really it. Thanks for watching this kind of slapdash shotgun review of Battle Blades Optimus Prime and comparing him to every other movie Optimus Prime from this span of time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.